Okay, this is part two. I had a little interruption. Anyway, I'm going to transit out to you and to the general populace. I do respect everyone. This specific video transmission, I would like to share with you that I do have a cap on here. And of course, this is the judicial sequence of what I've asked Ralph Bay, and I will have him share what he do in terms of his profession and his productions and things of nature. Anyway, he was able to create this. He was given order by this specific government or post on terms of this jurisdiction, and he was able to bring forth great seal Perseverando. You see now that it is appropriate in terms of being sphere or circular. 360 degrees is what I wanted. All righty. So let's get to the chiefs. I want you all to know that I do respect you, all chiefs that exist everywhere. Okay, I'm talking about First Nation, Aboriginal, Indigenous, all of you, and also the corporate ones that you know where you derive these terms from, as you may know chiefs. So you may know chiefs of police and all of this, the chief of the fire marshal and all of that. Okay, so I do respect all chiefs everywhere, no matter how you got into your position. And I share this with you back on, years ago at a powwow, Big Brother John Okinoti. It may be that Pacific tribe. I may be mispronouncing pronouncing his name and the tribe. Please forgive I. Okinochi, okay? Big Brother John, there was an all-nation powwow here that existed at the time in Charles City. So in short, I was able to go down there and I entered into the powwow, and I was one of your first slam boy, or what you may call b-boys here. And I had developed a different style in terms of my native or my tribalness. So I was able to enter into the peace covenants, my peace covenants and repentance to the other nations and tribes that existed here. And you may know the Virginia Indians, okay, that are different from these specific First Nation and Aboriginal nations or tribes that were spoken of, which you may call here, that predates the colonies. So I'm going to isolate ourselves and not speak for any other nation or tribe, okay? So I want to make that clear that I started off not having any type of blueprints or any of that. And I just found out that my grandfather was Seminole. He's still living, okay? And my people had confessed before they had passed. They had known that they were Seminole and they lived that way, even though that they were in what you may call project housing inside of Richmond, Wilcombe Court, things of that nature, the Thomases, and I love them, much respects. However, they were not educated or, had the full disclosure of what it means. So I was able to become conscious about what I was doing, coming out of maybe 20 years of canonical studies and the church, and was able to get the revelation in short that I'm Seminole. So what am I going to do? My mind gets, awakened, and I'm aware, and I open up in what you may call an urban setting. I'm awaking in an urban setting, and you got to go try to find help, and there's no one to help you. Okay. And then there was a black judge at the time that decided to violate and tried to, force himself and his ideologies in terms of what they may call judicial activism on the spot. I don't know if that would be term that's entirely applicable to him, but he had a difference of opinions of how I should live. And that's how I felt, because I was an Aboriginal asserting myself and I was violated. And that I heard in my mind that I would be a lawyer or a judge the next time I see him. I didn't know how, however, I am that today. So I am the chief judge for the Aboriginal Consular Insular Tribunal, the court, and it's a court of record. And of course, that is a great respect for the people, comprehending that they are the sovereign in terms of the plaintiff making the decision. However, the sovereignty pertaining to that is to respect that the justice know that the court of record causes this judge to be an administrator, you see, and to keep the sanctity of the facts, you see. So I have a bailiwick and all of that, and all of these men and women must be in good standing. So we're not hiding behind religion, or we're not hiding behind someone's way. We are very transparent, and I have opened up to all type of people. I took people in that had backgrounds where they did time in the feds, where they did time in the states, and it didn't work out for some. However, I ran an experiment that if one given an opportunity, would he become criminal again? Would he hide behind his religion, his way of life? Okay, so I have the facts. So you can talk about, like I stated on part one, that, oh, he was difficult. No, you wanted to promote a falsehood. You thought that you could change what Title 31 USC 5118 D and 2 says. It touches your heart when you start talking about money. See, and if you are a minister, then you can't misrepresentate. Okay, I'm not talking about sins of people's life. I'm talking about something specific. Okay, so money causes people, if they don't have it, to be disadvantaged, and they were violated, and some lost their lives. Okay, so I couldn't keep up this negative front of passing out Federal Reserve notes and violating people and pushing up deficits. That's not what a First Nation man would do. So I didn't do that. So what I decided to do was say, okay, I'm going to make certain that if I'm going to do banking and I comprehended and studied, and okay, there's a difference between commerce and finance, and what is really the Uniform Commercial Code, and what is financing statement, and this and that and all of that. I went into that. So I have a transmitting utility, and I'm a record-dated jurisdiction of competency. See, and I didn't get this way by taking a bribe. And you can talk all you want to. It is double shame, and it is very detrimental, what you may call, to one who took an oath. And you took an oath. I'm not holding the general population to you that step to I. I didn't sought you. You came here to Great Seal Perseverando. And I introduced you to the citizenry in terms, or what you may call the collegial fraternal order under the other seal, which is Sic Semper Tyrannis. They tried to help you, which was Virginia, okay? That being the lesser seal. This seal is the Great Seal Perseverando by 1-500, the sovereign 1-200. And I can't misrepresentate that at natural common law. That is the jurisdictional operation. This is what all had took an oath to. So I do respect Donald Trump, and I do share this with you, and I say this to you so that it would be fresh in closing. Donald Trump, respects to you. As I said, people that may be in their positions may not have been acquainted with this, but you are. And I've done my best to make certain that I give the United States transparency and to be a good man and standing, and I offer friendship to all. It is righteously that the United States is to be working with the First Nation people. This is the office. This is the highest law enforcement post on planet Earth in terms of banking and integrity as well. We have people that are corporate. As I stated, we have all type of professional people, and it is multicultural because it is essential and necessary in terms of commerce. If you don't have different nations participating, then, what is you? Can you be isolated because you white, or you black, or you red, or you green, or you yellow, or you're Christian, or you Islam, or you Hindu, whatever the situation is? There is a treaty that exists 16,000 years that goes back that bind all governments to never violate people's national sovereignty or their nation's sovereignty, rule of law, neither human rights. Did you know that? 16,000 years plus, okay? Special laws, and it is for what you may call the several kings or the treaties that pertains to those special laws, okay? I get into that a little more in time, but most people talk about treaties, but they never talk about the treaties that bound these specific operation that were colonials that came in here. And it was said that if there is a bad king or queen that violates the people, that the kings and queens is to rise up. Come on, chiefs. So if you're thinking that you got a problem with what type of chief are you? Did you enforce this? Did you know about this specific treaty? Huh? Did you? Is it just the fact that somebody from the projects was able to find out where they come from and did not take the norms of what you may have? That was not in my intention. I wanted help, but I wound up metamorphosizing into the help that I was looking for. Much respects to you all. As I said to you, my love and my respect. And as I said, everybody know that they reap what they sow, and you must do good. So I've done good. All righty. Peace to you.